So Hamis Chigundu, is that guy a millionaire? Someone needs to clarify. Is he a millionaire? We're not sure because, I mean, he happens some bullshit all the time. That nigga has more court cases than a black man with very many children. Like, Hamis is always in court for some ish. So anyway, Hamis comes out at the peak of the pandemic, second wave, and he donates 500 million Uganda shillings to the government of Uganda in order to help us procure vaccines, which, I kid you not, when they asked the ministry on if we are going to procure any vaccines, and the ministry said it's hard, but when we're looking at the data, it's actually interesting that a country like Tanzania, that wasn't even part of the vaccination situation, they weren't even signed up to COVAX, is actually getting more vaccines at a later time than us, a Ugandan country that even set aside a budget to buy vaccines. Like, someone make that make sense. Y'all watch that clip where Matia Kasaija was asked if money was put aside. It was interesting, yo. Ministry of Health versus NMS versus Ministry of Finance. And everybody had the audacity to point a finger at the other. Ministry of Health, are we going to get vaccines? They point their hands to, oh, not us. You guys were supposed to send us a bill so that we could procure. And then Ministry of Health goes like, no, over to you, Ministry of Finance, who actually also had the audacity. I kid you not. He had the audacity to come and tell us. They asked him, so did they put money aside in the budget? And he goes like, I don't know, I have to first check.
Parliamentary COVID-19 Task Force, which was established to monitor government response to COVID-19 pandemic, has interfaced with the Minister of Finance, Matia Kasaija, and officials of National Medical Stores led by the General Manager, Moses Kamambari. The committee discovered gross miscoordination between the Minister of Health and National Medical Stores, including bureaucratic tendencies that have contributed to the delayed purchase of the COVID-19 vaccines.
We last time we appropriated money for vaccine, didn't we?
Yes.
You gave that money to who?
I think we must. I can't know. I don't remember the real details. But if the request came under Ministry of Health, the money will go to Ministry of Health.
In the current financial year, Parliament appropriated 560 billion shillings for purchase of COVID-19 vaccines, but MPs were shocked to find out that only 80 billion shillings was allocated to the National Medical Stores to procure vaccines.
That is an appropriation which was the allocation which they made. We have not received the actual money. One is that finance releases money in quarters. So probably they may not release all of it in quarter one. But that is the money they have given as an indication that it was appropriated. I think that clarifies
it. The burden should not be put on finance. They should sort out themselves. They have a sector. They know how to handle things. Then my job is to make money available to whoever asks for that money.
Lawmakers put to task the Minister of Finance, Matia Kasaija, to account for the 18.5 billion shillings which was appropriated through a supplementary budget for purchase of AstraZeneca vaccines earlier this year, but Kasaija pleaded ignorant.
Who is still holding the money? Has the Minister of Finance even taken that money back? All that money has been deposited for the vaccine.
So I can't be able now stand here, but I said I will check with the Treasury. I will check which money was given to Minister of Health to buy vaccines.
The committee was seemingly irked to discover that NMS is keeping a huge stock of personal protective equipment in its warehouses, yet health centers are choking with shortage of PPEs.
All the PPEs that we have in NMS, the ones that are related to COVID response, are owned by Ministry of Health. So we are warehousing and distributing upon their instructions.
The General Manager
Yes.
of National Medical Stores, Moses Kamabare, notified the committee how difficult it will be for Uganda to get vaccines because India is not willing to sell to Uganda now. Yet other vaccines on the market are too expensive to afford.
Just as an example, the information available for the vaccine from China, a dose is between $35 to $40 per dose, compared to the AstraZeneca of India, which was at $4. So for each dose of the Indian version, you would have to get 10. Rather, for each 10 of the Indian, you would have to get 1.
The task force will meet the Minister of Health and Minister of Finance on Wednesday next week to dig deeper into COVID-19 interventions. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gitabinji, UBC News.
By law.
Hey! Ow, Tina. I cannot sip water. I keep telling you to sip water, but this, That too also happened. That happened. Let's go back to this, because I can't give you all these stories, Mpola, like, nyinjinyo. Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, we're talking about Hamis. So Hamis gives us half a billion Uganda shillings to help procure vaccines. And under the guise that he wanted to actually also vaccinate his people, his tenants, and all that BS. You don't know how that went. Before we know it, we get a donation from one of them countries after Hamis has given us the 500 million Uganda shillings, and we hear that Hamis has got 2,000 vaccines. Question, did he buy them? Was it a donation? If so, how about if all we Ugandans, how much is a vaccine? $4? How about instead of the government taking us for all these joy rides and making us look like we do not have a government running, this is the best thing. Other than asking us to donate and all these lies for you to steal this money, just tell every Ugandan to bring $4. Atete tuziba kwasa. Tugenda kwekolamu omulimu. Ngaba na Uganda. Buli omu aleeta dollars ennya, tuzikwate. Tugenda tweprocuring vaccines. Because what is this? Was it a donation? Did he buy? Because if he bought, then don't even get me started on the fact that they put us in a lockdown. Most countries effect lockdowns because they use that time to either set up the hospitals, make sure they have enough bed space, make sure they have good medical personnel on air and online, and make sure they're rolling out a vaccination program. Not my country. My bloody country put us in a lockdown without a plan. We are now out of the lockdown. Do you know why? Because the government and the president said, yeah, the cases have gone down. How do we believe that? We don't know. In other countries, the scientists come out and they tell the population what exactly is going on. In my country, it is the president who tells the population, which is also not bad. We would like to hear some scientific evidence, sir. We would. So yes, the lockdown slowed down the spread. But it doesn't make sense if it slowed down the spread and you open us back up and we go back into the world only for us to catch the Rona again and risk a third wave or fourth wave. You do not lock people up if you do not have a solution. But you did just that. There was no mass vaccination going on. There was nothing going on apart from telling people stay home. People lost their lives to hunger. People lost their lives to disease and not COVID. And this is what is bothering me. Yes, COVID is the disease right now, but do y'all know malaria kills more people in a year in Africa? Tuberculosis kills more people in a year in Africa. All these small diseases, people who had diabetes, hypertension, any small disease that you had, you were going to die literally in your house because 1, there was no mode of transportation. 2, everybody's scared to go to the hospitals because it's at the hospitals that you're catching the Rona from. That's why I'm bothered. I'm bothered, like, what plan? Or who sits down and plans for this here country? I have a friend who lost a mom When I tell you someone needs to hold this government accountable on negligence, a friend of mine lost a mother because the mother got a diabetic episode, dead in the middle of the night. And according to the government, for you to get a pass in order to move at night, you had to go check on your LC chairperson, who is supposed to give you documentation in case of an emergency in order to go. So how did it happen? She gets into an episode, gets real bad in the night. They walk to go look for their LC chairperson, get to the LC chairperson's house. They knock and knock and knock and nobody answers. They're like, let us go to the hospital. They get to the hospital. They get on their way to the hospital. They are stopped by close to 50 LDUs, all just trying to figure out if it is actually an emergency or they're just a bunch of people who just want to move dead in the middle of the night. By the time they made it to the hospital, she didn't have more than 3 hours left. How you finna tell me it's an emergency, but I need to go and look for an RDC and an LC chairman? How? But of course, Ugandans are not angry. Nah, we're going to make memes and tweet. And better yet, we're going to go on Facebook and do lives and listen to bloggers. And we're going to hashtag secure this our future. In it. Okay. Let's keep it moving, people. Let's keep it moving. During this same lockdown, we held prayers. Only in Africa. Yo, first wait, my boobs is busting out. I think I gained some quarantine weight, but we held prayers for the COVID pandemic. It's only in Africa that we will hold prayers for a medical situation other than actually fix the medical situation. No, we held prayers. The president held prayers. But what's even funnier is that he held prayers with the thieves. Like, imagine you go and steal your money and after that you're like, let's go pray. We watched a bunch of thieves and thugs hold prayers for the nation. After you misappropriate funds and people are dying from something as simple as lack of oxygen, you want to hold prayers. Didn't the doves tell you during the whole election? You remember those doves they threw up and the doves were like, we will not fly. Those doves should have told you something about our relationship with God as a nation right now. Even God doesn't want anything to do with our politicians. If these prayers are sent up by the common man, or he'll receive them if they're sent by the politicians, hell no. God is on vacation too. He's like, you'll deal with that. I'm not. I can't. I won't. Anyway, again, still during this very same lockdown, the 200 million for MPs, yeah, they got it. They're going to buy cars. And then, of course, opposition members are come out and they're like, we'll use the 200 million to do stuff only because they saw Segirinya doing too much. Big shout out to you, Segirinya. I have my reservations though. It's so good what Segirinya is doing. Abalabisa. Okulimba kubi abalabisiza. And it's a good thing because a politician is supposed to help his constituents like that. He's supposed to go above and beyond to care about his constituents. But here's the thing for me. If everybody turns into a Segirinya, the masses, I feel, are going to be so entitled to getting from their politicians. Don't even get me started on how that dominoes effect will go. I'm just saying it's a good thing what Segirinya is doing. It would be nice if every politician could do that, but there's an after effect of that, and it is the masses becoming entitled. It is the masses now just voting anybody, but hey, it's a double-edged sword that I won't get into, but I'm so proud of Segirinya. I'm so happy for the people of Kawempe and what he's doing for you all. You all deserve it. Every constituent needs a guy like that. For how long, we don't know. But it's good. It's good. So apparently 41 billion was put aside for vaccines. How's that going? Oh yeah, the ministry keeps lying to us that it is still hard to procure, yet other countries who had not yet even procured before the whole situation are getting. I was just trying to think about all the monies. I tried to count down. I can't even give you the specifics, but between 2020 and 2021, when it comes to we have 4.3 trillion in loans, right? Now, in those loans that we got to help us fight the pandemic, 284 billion, 59 billion went to OPM for food relief, which every Ugandan did get. 30 billion actually went to defense. I don't know what we are defending during a global pandemic. 94 billion went to health, which was also kind of good, but we have not yet seen. I think that's very, very little. And 37 went to police. I mean, who are you policing if everybody is afraid of a pandemic? But hey, that is me just being naive. And 22 billion went to local governments. I'm like, okay. So my question, are we procuring vaccines anytime soon? Are we going to mass vaccinate? Okay. We'll get there too. Y'all watch that episode of, I call it an episode because I watch the parliamentary sittings like movies, where a Twine and a Cheng were in parliament and parliamentarians were asking them, where is the money? And they also didn't know where the money is. That got me thinking like, okay, so if y'all don't know where the money is at, who knows? Point us, direct us. We can ask directly. Don't go around corners. Who? Uganda. Uganda is something else. So anyway, that all happened. Oh, it was during the same lockdown. But Black, what is his name? John Black. There was an alleged John Black sex tape. I'll drink to that. In that same lockdown, Lydia Jasmine and the Waiki Bender tried to entice us with a video by dropping Kwanjula photos. I'm so proud of you, Uganda. No one cared. No one did. Beautiful. But it was also in the same lockdown. But I feel like we have to have a conversation with the government again. During this lockdown, when you actually look at the statistics of the number of domestic violence cases, rape among underage girls, underage pregnancies, and very many mental disorders, shot up. This is not just even about the pandemic. This tore me up. It really did. And it begs the question, our minister for education, who also happens to play her part as the first lady of this country, and everybody is afraid to talk to her. I want to talk to her. I hear people calling her mama. I won't disrespect my mother like that by calling her mama, because I know where my mama is. And if anything, she is the only person who has not acted mother-like in any way. You'll notice that our entire school system just crumbled, died, dead, gone, buried, RIP, ain't coming back. Rest in eternal peace. That's what happened to our entire education system ever since she came to be a part of it. And this is something we have to be honest about. I know y'all are scared to say it, but I'll say it. I think, who was the last minister for health, for education? I think the last one who made sense to me was Mirembe Betamazire, for me. She was. But when you look at other regions within East Africa, school hasn't been as disrupted as it has in Uganda. And yet we're all going through a global pandemic. They keep closing and opening up schools, but our Ugandan schools, it's a whole different story. And there is no body saying anything about how we're going to get back 1.5 years of our education system. Right now, it looks like there is no repercussions. Parents are just relieved that because it's a global pandemic, at least they don't have to face the hard situation of having to pay tuition too. I get that. But guys, it's been 1 year and a half. Your kids have actually missed school. All the way from the ages of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've been seated at home. The government came up with some BS of saying they will teach them on radio and TV. How many Ugandan families up country can afford a radio and a TV? Then they say they will be putting study material in newspapers. Again, during a global pandemic in a country like mine that doesn't give two shits about its population or provide for its population in hard times like this, how do you expect me to put 2,500 shillings on the side, yet that 2,500 can buy me a kilo of posho and mukene in order for me to survive? How? And the Minister of Education sold us all these fallacies. Yeah, they're fallacies. She said, we'll teach them like this, we'll teach them like that. It's been 1 year and a half, and they ain't no fucking solid plan. But no one is calling her out on this. You have called out the Ministry of Health, you have called out the Ministry of Finance, Planning, all these other ministries. But have you understood that this is an entire generation that has not gone to school for 1 year and a half? And the repercussions are big? Or we're just doing that Ugandan thing of like, tujalaba, tunalaba. Man, Ugandans, at times I want to scream at you Ugandans. At times I want to call Ugandans. At times I want to deassociate from being Ugandan, because not because it's a failing system, but because the masses have made do with mediocrity. You are so comfortable with being mediocre. You are so comfortable to receiving less than you deserve. You are so comfortable with getting what is due you. That things like this go unchecked. There is no solid plan for school. None. We do not know if our kids next year will go back to the same classes they were in or skip classes. How will they cope? We do not know. Do you know that this pandemic has also taken a toll on kids and how they view life? No, but we're not going to talk about that. We won't. We're not supposed to. For now, we're supposed to be thinking about COVID, vaccines, and how to push through. We won't have that conversation as parents, will we? It's just now fine times. Let's go to the fact that close to 500 or more, 5,000, 1,000, it doesn't matter the number because we'll never get the right statistics, of girls who have been locked down have underage pregnancies. You have locked these people down with their tormentors. You have locked these people down with their rapists. You have locked us down with our toxic parents. You have created such a huge void. But all we are caring about, the only aspect this country cares about is COVID. COVID. There are no other repercussions of this pandemic, and the government doesn't care about these repercussions. It really does not. Your mental health as a human being right now, you will be lying. You will be lying if you told me that your mental state is at 100. It ain't. Because you see, while other countries can go and understand that there will be a plan for them, there is a plan for them. In Uganda, it's hope and a prayer, vibes and inshallah. That's what we're moving on, vibes and inshallah. But back to education. Is anybody going to have the conversation of when the Ministry of Education is going to grow a pair, grow some balls, and think of a plan? In Kenya, schools are up. Their positivity rate, last time I checked, was about 10% for COVID. Their cases are up, but the schools are operational. So you want to tell me what? Chechi gani? Anyway, maybe a JBD. Oh yeah, I was reading somewhere too. You remember in the first wave when the president tried to do the boo-boo initiative, Buy Uganda, Be Uganda? Oh yeah, he said that NITIL was going to, quote unquote, manufacture PPE and masks, right? As of yesterday, I was reading that NITIL has been stuck with tons and tons of masks and PPE since last year. Meanwhile, the government is still procuring masks and PPE. Meanwhile, some hospitals are saying, we don't have PPE. Meanwhile, doctors are saying, we don't got PPE. We're not getting paid the right way. There's not enough masks. What's going on in this country? Like what? Someone break it down for me. Like I could be missing a beat on certain things. Like, what? Again, this same pandemic, I'm going to give you these things randomly. In this same pandemic, I actually read somewhere that government spent close to, let me read that for you. I need oh God. I need for you to read this. So NITIL is stuck with 50 million face masks, by the way, and PPE. 50 million. 50 million. Face masks and PPEs. Bazidina, timaina chazikozesa. But that aside from this country, you know what? I can't even. Let's to very you. Anyway, we're still talking about the things that happened. Again, I want to ask, what is the purpose of Operation Wealth Creation? Because I know the past week, just 1 week here, you'll be making noise that Ugandan artists are all going to Gulu where Salim Saleh is. First of all, Salim Saleh, because I'm looking at joining the industry. I need some help. And secondly, why do artists feel like they have lost more during this pandemic? Jesus. Weasel. Now, you know I got love for you, Weasel Manizo. But what the you need this money for? For what? Stimulus for what? Where were you going to perform? With who? To sing what? You have released music. I'm not hating on you. I'm being honest because you know me. I say it as it is. You have released music since the late radio. And we still don't give two flying shits about it. We don't care for it. I'm not going to be seated there and go like, I need to download that new Weasel track. I like watching you on Instagram. I love your family. Shit, I love you. Your music though, absolute crap. Absolutely crap. You need 650 million. Who are you going to perform for? Who called for you? Who sent for you? Who sat down and said this concert will not be the shit if Weasel is not on it? You know I got love for you, I do. But stop playing with us like that. Bebe cool. Can we even talk on Bebe? Should I even talk on Bebe cool? Should I? To veyo. Ziza bafana. I think Ziza bafana ibo no okora chari ejirisi. No okora. For who? Stimulus package for what? Before the pandemic, you were irrelevant. After it, you're still irrelevant. Last time you did a damn song. Oh, Lord. Y'all watch that video. It was called Embuzi something. It wasn't a video. It reminded me of Tip Drill. If you know, you know. Y'all know Tip Drill? That's what was going on in that video. That wasn't a video. That was porn. Wait, was it flagged down? Can somebody check? Hey, check if that Ziza Bafana song is still up. Is it up? Lokodo, what the And you have the audacity to come against people who go to Nyege Nyege and you left that video up? And your double standards. I'm done. I'm cursing. And I'm going to curse openly. Ronald Mayinja Buhang, isn't this the snitch? Ain't this the guy who is supposed to take Chameleon's name? Because he keeps jumping in and out of colors. Tomorrow he's yellow, sunshine yellow. The next day he's blood red. The next day he green like a snake. The next day he black, he feels in like Voldemort. This guy. Mama Hazan mutu joga. Watch mutu sibaka abantu bana. As a population, I would like to tell you, we do not care about these people. We really don't. We are dealing with things like trying to feed our families, staying clear of the Rona because we can't afford the hospital bills. We are trying, but dear. Temutusibako bana abantu tetubetaga. This is nonsense. Muba wazachi. Yeziva waze mugendo bawa zaffe. But given the fact it is Operation Wealth Creation, which I happen to believe is a government initiative, what are you giving these people for? Get this money and take it to the villages. Give it to the farmers who are supposed to supply us with food while we're going through this hard time. They need some stimulus. Give this to the business guys who are in Kampala trying to keep us afloat because we need all the things that they're providing for us. Give this money to hospitals and all these nurses and doctors. Giving these idiots for what? Last time I checked in this global pandemic, y'all have still been getting bookings. There have been birthdays, weddings, weird appropriate things that they call you to sing for. Is it our fault that you did not plan for your retirements? Is it our fault that while the industry was booming, you all didn't think about keeping some on the side? Well, as all of that was going on, and I'm still pissed at musicians and all of that, happened the Tokyo saga. Sechitoleko. The Sechitoleko story got me, yeah. I remember a couple of years back, I was talking about the sports fraternity. I was still on TV, and I remember that it was directed towards Magogo, who also had his own showdown with my former boss, Robert Kabshenga. Interesting bit it was, but anyway. Such Toleko, this poor guy goes to the Olympics and is like, shit, I ain't coming back. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm looking for a better situation. Before we know it, in jumps the Ugandan government. They're like, we're going to send all these representatives. We have to get him back. Before we know it, he's back home. He's under police custody. Everybody's asking and they're drawing a hashtag. Why is he in custody? What did he do wrong? I'm looking at all of that bullshit and I'm like, but since when is it a crime for a Ugandan to want better? Such a Toleko is almost every Ugandan youth I know. They're just trying to get better. If nobody has embodied for you what it means to be a Ugandan youth, look at Sech Toleko. That is our story. All of us, whether you want to believe it or not, he is a perfect representation of 35 years of the NRM. He is a perfect representation of this thing called living on the African continent in a place called Uganda. He is. Y'all can't even be mad at that. I think why the government was all up on his ish is because during this whole pandemic is that the Ugandan government is tired of people showing it the honest truth of what exactly is going on. Ugandan youth have been telling you, we're tired. We want better. We want jobs. We want a fair chance at survival. We want to also be able to provide. We want to also be able to have a little bit on the side, to have some saving, to have a house, to have a decent income, to have just something decent. But the government is like that parent who tells you do not air out your dirty linen regardless of how toxic our situation is. You will shut up, bite hard down, and swallow. So I think the government was just angry that, well, he showed our problems out on the global stage. You know what they say, it's a global village. Oh, he made this really global. He did. I don't think the government was all up on his ish just because they cared. Come on, care and Ugandan government, they don't go hand in hand. They never will. They never can. But anyway, that happened. As usual, I saw Mama Fina come to the rescue and give him some help. I saw people hashtagging it. And The whole Olympic situation has actually been a big blow to Uganda. You know, we have the Magogos facing off because, I mean, we got Coach Mitchell back. The same ninja who went cursing us. We got him back. If toxic was a relationship, wow. We got him back. But it has started a conversation that I feel was needed. The government of Uganda, let's just say State House, spends almost 10 times more in a day, according to their budget, than it does on an annual budget for the sports fraternity. Let that sink in. In a day, what the government of Uganda spends in a day on State House is what the entire sports fraternity is supposed to budget with in a year. Not the entire sports fraternity, but it's the budget that is going to be thrown either for athletes or for footballers or soccer. And you remember the same conversation happened when the Cranes were actually striking that they hadn't been paid, and Magogo came out and is like, they played shitty football. Who cares if they played shitty football? They are out there hoisting our colors. And what's even more sad is that whenever we win something, the gold, all of that, State House jumps up, puts up on Twitter, we are proud. We are proud of you, Chemtai. We are proud of you, Simanya, keep something. There's so many keeps, I can't keep up. Huh? They are proud. But how much are they spending on them? How much are they spending on their training? Our athletes actually just go at it balls, hard on. They're like, yeah, Tulumbe. They will do their own training. The motivation is upon them as an individual. Then they win gold and URS sits and it's like, oh, we're waiting for you to bring that money so that we can cut off our taxes. It's only Uganda that is a country that is comfortable with taking more than it is capable of giving in every aspect. Let it be hospital, let it be health, let it be in the finance sector, let it be in the education sector. We are comfortable with taking out more than we are giving in. So I'm glad that the sports fraternity is actually having this conversation. I was reading a very interesting thread of one of the sports people who actually outed the sports fraternity, and I was like, you go, you say this. But then again, is it Ministry of Education and Sports? Sports in a ministry, still run by the same person, I think. But y'all can educate me in the comment section. What you think? Anyway, the Sechitoleko story also happened. Then, oh yeah, we had a beautiful white girl representing us at the Tokyo Olympics, and every Ugandan was like, wait, what? Oh, they told us she's born here. She's been here all her life. I think she even has a Dida Nechka. Proud, you know, she's still hoisting the colors. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you're hoisting the colors for my country, oh, I wish you luck. Because the one thing my country is going to wish you is luck. Just luck. They will not, I repeat, they will not invest in your excellence, but they will wish you luck. Tons of luck, I have to say. So yeah, the sports fraternity in this here country, you better have balls about you and speak up. Oh, guess what? I had forgotten this one. Ashpak Katokeman tried to play those. Never blog about Uganda. Watch Mutsinikira Kebinyo. We have better things to do as a nation. I keep telling this to my fellow bloggers. If you want to grow this nation, you cannot keep digressing and putting situations like this out there. Ashbak comes up online and he tells us, I hear he was beaten by the police during the lockdown, yet he was going to talk about fundamental issues on climate change. On TV, wait, Ashbag, climate change. Dear, respectfully. Y'all can hate at how much profanity I'm using today. I don't care. I don't care. A couple of months back, we thought we're all gonna die. I might as well be profane. If you can't stand it, it's all right. I don't care. But this Kamanyiro should stop. Told us they took out his teeth. Oh, I wish they had taken out his teeth. I actually wish police officers could just go rogue. for him using their name and slandering them, they should beat him up, black and blue. I don't condone violence, but for this ninja here, this toothpick, mukakube, mukakunyulemu amanyo, au kagende kalopere ddala. We've seen it happening. We can't blame the government anymore. Jim Muhwezi, for crying out loud, Jim Muhwezi robbed money from the sick, the poor, with Mike Mukula in tow. We saw that scandal. It shook us. Money gone. What did the president do? Made him a minister. Someone needs to refill my glass. They made that nigga a minister. And first thing he did was to front a rogue company that is actually filing for bankruptcy. That's his first deal. The car tracking deal. That was his deal. Ugandans ran amok. You did the receipts. You're like, the company is failing. It doesn't even deserve this contract. You're going to make noise. He's going to go through. And then, man, this country. I am not mad at the government anymore. I am mad at you, Uganda. I am mad at you. You have made all of this possible. I think when these rogue government officials sit down to have a glass of wine or whatever, they're like, Ugandans are just beba singa muchintu chino. Batutera wembera deide. Tubewo. I ain't mad at them. I'm mad at you. You Ugandan, you, who won't ask for nothing but vibes and inshallah. You complain, but they keep doing this ish. And they won't stop. They can't stop, won't stop, in the words of PDD. Can't stop, won't stop. Jesus. Anyway, a couple of days back, you all saw the Lumbuye story. Yeah, the Lumbuye story. So Lumbuye is in Turkey. He's a vlog. I don't know what to call him because personally he disgusts me. My opinion, y'all can hate. Y'all can hate. Actually, if you're so hateful, walk off a short cliff. If you're so angry at what I feel from what I'm going to say moving forward, please go kick rocks. Nobody's stopping you. So anyway, I don't know, you guys call him a blogger, and he usually comes online and he's talking about all these political scenarios and all of that. So he was arrested in Turkey. And before I know it, there's a whole tiny hashtag going on Twitter, because I'm not going to speak on the other platforms, of people saying you cannot extradite him to bring him back to Uganda. It is wrong. You know, his oppressors are in the country. I feel that. I wouldn't want anybody to be extradited to this country, because we all know what Museveni and his boys do if you were against the government. Let's not even hide this under the table. We've seen it. We've seen the torture cases. We've seen the with undue process type of incarcerations. We have seen all the bullshit that this government does, and we can't hide from it. It rears its ugly head every day. What bothers me is that we are comfortable with talking about it. The government knows we can talk about it. It is out there. It is on every social media platform, and there's no change. But anyway, they say you can't extradite him because you know what the government is going to do. Okay, I feel you. I also don't want him to be extradited because we know what they're going to do to him. Here's my thing though. For years, this man has been a diehard people power fan. Diehard. He has said the most outlandish things. He has said certain things that have come to pass, and he has just plain out been hateful for years. But yesterday, I go on Twitter. I don't know how to pronounce that handsome man's name. He's part of people power. Y'all know that cute ninja, that's on Bobby's team. The one they say is a spy for Sevo. Oh, he fine.
Because he's cute, he's a spy.
I wouldn't know. Spies are always cute. Anyway, he had a whole thread on Twitter. And he was like, we are not saying that what this guy did was right. We are not saying, but what we're saying, it was a long thread. And I want to talk to people power. Temugenda tusirwaza. Ate temujja tusirwalizaako. I believe in the cause. I believe in wanting better. I believe in change of government. 35 years is way too much. I believe in all these things. But you see, what I'm not going to believe in is stupidity. This man has said some detrimental things, and none of you has ever come out. This man nearly started a full-fledged genocide. Bobi Wine said nothing. This man attacked the Kabaka of Buganda, saying he is dying, or he is dead, or he is not him, or when they brought him, it wasn't him, it was a stunt double. People power didn't say shit. Bobi Wine didn't say shit. This man has spread so much hate. Oh? The hate this man has spread. People power didn't say shit. Now, when he's incarcerated, you want to say some shit. How come you didn't own up to him while he was going about his work? I was always disappointed in the fact that Bobi Wine never actually said anything about this man. Tetuganye bannaye badiya fenna tuli mu struggle. Fenna twagala enkyukakyuka. I, for one, I am team struggle. I am team 35 years is been too long. I am team I want better. I deserve better. My children deserve better. The generations after me deserve better. I am that team. But you see, one thing I am not a team of is anybody who spreads false news, anybody who spreads hate. And one thing Lumbuye is really good at is pitting everybody against each other. For him, it has always been Emuganda this, Emunyankole this, Emuchori this, Emutoro this. This guy has been saying very many detrimental things, very many. And your people power, your people power guys never say jack. None of you came out to tell him you are going too far, you are missing the objective. None of you wanted to call him in and tell him Lumbuye osusiza no wandi komye struggle agenda wano go weta. But now that he's incarcerated, you care? It's the hypocrisy for me. It's the hypocrisy for me. What? You're embarrassed that if one of your own gets incarcerated and you don't say something, you'll be seen as a what? A bad people? Or should we just say that he was actually Mutume? Should we say that all his past beliefs and his doings in the past that you never condoned or said anything about, you were part of, you believed, you were comfortable with? I remember saying this, I think 2 years ago, and I said, Bobi Wine, you have so much power. You have the power of the people, because the people really like you. And not just any people, it's the youth. The youth that are supposed to fall under the category of elite, the youth that are supposed to stand under the category of Uganda's biggest workforce, the youth that literally are everything for this country. You have that much power. But you're trying to explain to us right now that this ninja who was incarcerated is all of a sudden a good chap, and he doesn't deserve what's coming to him. If you ask me, like I said, nobody deserves to be incarcerated in this here country. Nobody. Nobody, because we all know the tyranny in this country. But that ninja he has to answer for his crimes. When I say his crimes, I'm not talking about all the conversations he has had. I'm just talking about the ones where he could have actually started a genocide. I'm talking about all the false information he has been feeding close to 50,000 people, 50,000 and more. If you come out into this struggle, can we just have an honest struggle where we put it as it is and say it as it is? Not some guy who sits back and dreams up of fallacies and comes and tells Ugandans like, nze nkirinako bwino, bwino aliwa tata. Kati bakusibye Lumbuye, tuwe bwino. Tuwe bwino nti Bulange was in a problem. Tuwe bwino nti Kabaka yali bubi. Tuwe. Justify half of the shit that you've said and we'll let you go. Everybody is allowed to fight for this country because we love this country. But I do not believe that everybody should just do what they want in the name of we are fighting. You struggle to mugenda jitwononera bwetuti. You cannot oust a dictator by using the same tricks he uses. You either have to go really low or really high. Lumbuye chose beyond really low. And you're telling me he has no crimes to answer? Come on. Let's be honest here. Let's just be honest. I want you to sit back as a Ugandan if you want to understand my frustration with this guy. I don't wish the worst for him. I'm just saying, let's be practical here. I need you to watch 6 Lumbuye videos, 6 back to back. Then after watching them, hit me up in my comment section and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. And for you, the Noob leadership, stop being political hypocrites. You can not only accept things when they work in your favor. If you chose to be a part of this struggle, then really be a part of this struggle the right kind of way. You do not wait for this man to be incarcerated, then you can begin telling us we do not agree with everything he said. But you were silent the whole time he said it, and guess what? He was hoisting your colors. He was wearing your colors. Every day. Every day this man came on Facebook or YouTube, he was wearing your colors. He was claiming y'all. If this was a gang, the Bloods or the Crips, he was claiming you. You never claimed him back when he was making his claims, wasn't it? And now that he's hit some hard time, is when you are... Nope. Mwesulise. Actually, if you ask me, Noop was supposed to just shut up. The way you have been shut up the whole time. When this man has been running amok and feeding the masses with false information. You can feed the masses whatever it is that you want to feed them. But if we are trying to build up a better nation, a better generation, better governments, better democracy system, we cannot front the false stuff. We have to rise above that. That is politics for kids. That is child's play. We are now seated at the big boys' table. We're not going to come with allegations. We want to come with hard facts. So for Noop to come out now and say like, we do not agree with everything he said, but he does not know. Your silence made you complicit. That's it. I don't care how you see it. I don't care how many people are going to come for me for saying this. Bobby Wine yaito mubanda wa kabaka. Mad respect. Mad respect. Yeah, you don't even know. I told you people, I love the ideology that Bobby Wine sold to us. I love the fact that he gave a generation like mine the chance to actually open our eyes and see that this is not what we deserve. Love him. Love the ideology. But his silence made him complicit too. When this Lumbuye guy came out and started the whole twisted up story about Wulange and what's happening to the Kavaka and what's not going to happen and what's happening, I was like, whoa. That is actually putting your finger in the leopard's nini. You'll shut up. You didn't say nothing. When he comes on social media and begins telling people, COVID italiyo, bali kutugabutuzi bantu. I'm like, okay. I do believe a conspiracy or two. But we all saw what happened in the last wave. Bali baba tugabutuzi. Weren't you losing people left, right, and center? Don't you now know that COVID is real? But while he was saying all these things, Noop was quiet. But he is doing them while he hoists your colors. So we would like to believe that given he's hoisting your colors, he is one of yours. But none of y'all condemned the wrong. None. But you want to now come out and stand for him? So if he wasn't incarcerated, we were going to let him run amok with all these ideologies and selling people all these weird fallacies and all these weird lies and all these, we were going to let it keep growing? Come on. Come on now. And I've always said this about bloggers. Mugenda ne mu blogging anga muli eyo simanye Butuluki, Turkey, ne mu bloggingire Sweden, ne mu bloggingire wa, my dears. There are foreign policies for each country. When you think you can't be touched, or they will touch you. And the only thing that you will have to stand by you is your truth. That's all. Your truth. Now the question is, are you giving the masses the truth? Or are you just being sensational for the likes and the follows, for the respect that you get from the masses who don't know any better? Stop fooling my people, bloggers out there. If you want to be a part of this cause, be a part of this cause the right way. Educate the masses the right way. Knowledge is power. Give them the right knowledge. Don't give them fantasies. Don't give them lies. Say it as it is and let them discern. But because you're in other countries, you say whatever the you want to say and think it won't come to bite you. It may not bite you, but it's affecting the people you're saying it to. We need to be considerate. I am very considerate with what I say at times because I understand that I have almost, how many followers do I have? How many subscribers do I have now? Like 30K, 28K? I do understand that these 38K or 28K subscribers who are watching me deserve to have an opinion of their own. So what am I going to do? I'm going to give you my thoughts. This is what I think about it. Then I'll let you have your own thoughts. I'm not putting this out like it's me. Lumbuye comes out and he tells you, bagenda kusencha. He's not saying I think. Abali mu struggle, you know, especially you bloggers. Can we stop shortchanging our nation? We all want the same goal. Now, can we do it right? Can we stop spreading hate? Can we stop spreading lies? Can we stop spreading misinformation? And can we give the masses the truth? Facts. Can we do that? And let the masses discern. Let the masses decide what they want to do with these facts. Stop being sensational. You all look like young girls who just got told that they're pretty. Oh, I'm pretty? You think I'm pretty? And then you come out here looking like a bee going to a pollen. Give the masses the right information. Okay, so apparently my sponsor for today is Avilade Okay, link in the bio.
That's on the screen.
On the screen. Ibra will be with us, of course, next week. He was a little bit better. Thank you for everybody who actually came out, and wished Ibra well. And thank you to everybody who always wishes Random Thoughts the best. I've been receiving messages from so many people like, hey, why are you off YouTube? Hey, are you okay? Hey, are you healthy? I've had people sending me money. I had people send me money for Ibra because he was sick. Y'all melt my heart. I still can't believe that this love is that genuine. Because, well, I think I've been in too many toxic relationships. But that's not depressing. I've been in so many toxic relationships that when something good happens in a relationship between me and any individual, I'm like, wow. So I'm thankful, I'm thankful. Ibra is okay. He's 10,000% fine. I am 10,000% fine. I also went through my Rona. Yeah, I got it. I didn't tell anybody that, but I got the Rona. Now I did just tell everybody. I did. My kids brought it from school and it was a trying time. It messed me up mentally for pretty much a full month. So I understand when someone says they're not 100. But if you want to have a conversation, if you want to talk to me, it's quite simple. Hit me up on any of my platforms. I will be glad to have a conversation with any of you. And it's okay not to be okay. This shit is new to us. For now though, I'll bid you farewell. I'll chuck deuces in a bit. And do we have anything we want to tell them? That we don't have sponsors. Mweba sponsor. Bagudde wenziji. Katusobola okukola mulekera okwemola. I am unemployed. I live off your money. Ziza Bafana should pay me for what? Ziza Bafana cannot sponsor. Maybe, what does he want to sponsor? Haza. Ndeka. But seriously, but sponsor, we are welcoming you. Our numbers are in that scroll. And there is not a person I know who has done business with us who has not gotten back their money's worth, So hit us up in case you want to do advertising, in case you want us to influence your product. We do that both on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. And we're giving you a lifetime deal because these videos ain't going away forever. So you pay once and get your shit up there for life. Hit us up. I'm broke. I'm going through some things. It's been a hard situation. And I'm here. I'm here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell this. I'm so proud of me. I quit smoking.
You smoked?
I smoked? Y'all remember when I was going through my TV situation and Zahara Toto? Where is that one, by the way?
There you go.
The inverted isosceles triangle. She's silent. Never naye. Mudanga mne mwemanyiza mbu you're going to be against him Munyoro. I am Kabalega's grandchild. My ancestors will everybody up. We're talking about smoking because she fronted it the last time when she was on TV doing interviews about me. She's like, Akola gwa kunya cigara. Yes. 15 years I smoked. It's been 2 months, bitches, and I ain't letting down. I'm so proud of me. Let's drink to that. So what y'all gonna come with me at? My intellect? I'm not, Zara cannot talk about my intellect because she can't. How? How can intellect and Zahara in the same conversation? Chikubasa. But yeah. So I'm just saying, in a nutshell, COVID hasn't really been that bad. It's also in this COVID, I think I fell in love. What? I'm saying too much? It's too much? Wait, is that... Jacob, is that too... Yes. Yeah.
This was great.
It was dope.
Let's pack up the lights. Let's pack up the lights.
All my girls bossy ride with me, I'm a savage. All my girls bossy if they